Hey, how you doing? You doing good? You having a good day? I am. You know why? Because I survived psychological warfare, the highest degree in my past. That's a fucking good day to be alive. They stop fucking with me now. They realize I'm not someone to be fucked with. I'm not someone who can be manipulated. Not anymore. All your usual triggers that you use on other people, they don't work on me. They only accelerate my growth. And you know it every single time, man. I try to talk to these mortals about how to escape the matrix, how to understand everyone's pain. That's how you make connections with the conscious reality within everything. You gotta understand pain. The language of pain creates all the fucking connections across all reality. Oh, you weren't supposed to know that blueprint, but you got that free information from me. So now you can decide to do whatever you want with it. You can become immortal too. You can get out of the fucking matrix mainframe into the universal consciousness. It's all up to you. You can keep living the lies of matrix, and you'll think what I'm talking about is just absolute nonsense. You'll probably say I'm on ice. You'll probably say I'm living a sad reality. Well, you know what? So was all the chosen ones. We all had to live that reality because someone had to. You was too busy in the house of mirth while we was in the house of sorrows. But that's where you're close to the Lord. That's where you stay humble. That's where you stay humble. I don't mind being in the house of mirth now that I've earned that position. But it took me being in the house of fucking sorrow before I could get to that point where I can start laughing again. Again, you spending all your time in that place where you don't ever have to suffer. That's why you're having surface level conversations about nothing, meaningless nonsense, distractions. And you want me to entertain that shit? You really want to have a conversation with me? Have a deep conversation with me, because I can have a deep conversation there. I'm not meant for surface level conversations. Especially when people don't want to get to know their suffering like I did. You have to become friends with that suffering. You have to become a girl. You have to be boyfriend and girlfriend with that suffering, though. That suffering got to sleep with you all night. You got to wrap your arms tight around that suffering and never let it go. Are you willing to do that? To really understand everyone? How I understand everyone? So I'm immune to the manipulation games everyone plays? I understand the intention behind it because that's what suffering does. It produces intentions. When you go through suffering, what is your intention? Most of y'all is to escape that suffering. So you make sloppy moves when you're trying to escape that suffering. But when you get to know that suffering is not going to affect your moves. You make precise moves on the right amount of pressure. Other people break under that pressure. That's just the laws of physics. Apply enough pressures to anything, it'll break. But they try to apply so much pressure to me. Didn't break me. Helped me to break all their bullshit. All their fucking lies and manipulation just started breaking right in front of me. Just like I break all these fucking pieces of wood. I can do that shit. Because y'all taught me. Y'all thought y'all would sabotage me. You would just accelerate my growth. So thank you. I have the humility to say thank you. I'm not prideful. I don't need to be prideful. I just need to be accurate. So I give credit where credit's due. You did a good job. You made me almost doubt my faith in God. You almost made me think that it was never going to get better. But I realized it's just a mindset. Being better is just a mindset. Like deciding whether or not you want to be happy today, regardless of the situation you're in. Sometimes you can just smile. Just practice smiling for no reason. You don't even have to be happy. Just smile. That's all you got to do. Because you'll convince anyone you're fucking happy if you smile enough. You'll even convince yourself that you're happy. See, look at that. That makes me happier. When I can just pretend I'm happy. Just like I pretend I'm fucking women when I'm jacking off. I had to do that. It's a survival mechanism for being alone for such a long time. Some of you motherfuckers would not know what that's like. You've already had women your whole life. Willing to do whatever you want. Nobody ever listened to me when I was going through this shit. I try to get these women to fucking be on my side. Instead, they turn against me. They didn't want to rise with me. No. What did they want to do? Sabotage me because they couldn't rise with me. They didn't want to take accountability. They didn't want to do the growth and the journey with me. That's why a lot of them are fat bitches. Ugly fat bitches. Trying to degrade me because they're already degrading themselves. They hate themselves, so they hate me. That's why they hate me. Because they hate themselves. I understand why you hate. Because I felt those emotions too. When I had these weaknesses that I didn't confront, when I had this insecurity that I didn't confront, it came out as hatred. Just like when you do that shit. But once you stop competing against everyone, stop getting your worth from validation, you can start having self-love again. Because you rely on other people to tell you what you should believe in yourself. So if they tell you to believe you're a fucking brick wall, you'll start believing you're a brick wall. You'll never question that. You'll never move. You just stay in that you'll just stay as a brick wall. You can pretend whatever you want. Pretend that you're happy then. Like I am. There ain't no reason to be, but I just gotta be happy. Because sometimes that's survival mechanism, though. That's what they taught me. Sometimes you just gotta smile. You make them think that you're happy. And they think that they can't break you then. Once they know that you're happy in your suffering, that you're joyful in your suffering, suddenly now they don't want to hurt you no more. Because you get pleasure out of that suffering. To other people, that would make them break down. That would make them re-question their reality. But I didn't. I pondered it for a little bit. But I finally decided that's not my fate. Being comfortable is not my fate. And I don't have to feel bad about it. Then I made that decision. Because what's meant for me will come to me. I shouldn't have to chase it. And she wanted me to chase it. She wanted me to chase that. And as I've said before, every time I chase someone, they just pull back. So I only did my only thing that I knew that works. I pulled back too. To test her if she would ever come back to me. And she never did. That's not my fault. I just learned from them that sometimes you got to pull back to help people realize your worth. Because if you're always around for certain people, they won't appreciate you. They never do when I'm around for them. When I'm always around for them, performing for them, making them feel happy because I'm there for them. When I actually listen, they think that's me being shy because I actually listen. Maybe because I'm trying to decide when to respond instead of just talking over people. And as long as that fucking Greg dude was talking to that girl, he blocked my destiny. He blocked my destiny, though. He has to pay for that shit. He has to pay for shit, and not me. That doesn't mean I'm going to do anything to him. That means karma's going to pay him back. In vengeance. He blocked a destiny that was supposed to happen. Because of his bullshit. He had to compete against me to try to get this girl that I liked. Guess what happens? Not only does he not get that girl, he also fucked me over. And now I have to deal with the consequences of his action. See, I have to deal with all the consequences of other people's actions. Because I have to take responsibility for everyone. Because that's the person I am. I'm the person that takes responsibility for everyone else's actions. Even though I did nothing wrong. I just wanted to have a girl. And he had to block that blessing. by competing against me. Now, I wasn't going to try to talk over him just to try to compete. No. I'm not trying to compete against nobody. Because that's always going to invite jealousy, rivalry. Why do you think there was that war in Troy? They were fighting over a woman. The two sides were fighting over a woman. You think I want to have a war over some one woman? You think I want to have a war over some woman who I'm not even guaranteed to have? Because I tested her. I tested her by pulling back. I wanted to know if she was actually on my side or if she was on Greg's side. And what did she do? She pulled back even further. But I'm not responsible for that. I don't know why they're trying to make me feel guilty for it. They're trying to make me feel guilty for that. Yeah, there was parts of me that could have reached out to her. I could have chased her, yes. But what good would that do if she just pulls back? That would just make me look like a fool. I already trusted that before. Again, right before I talked to Taylor, I talked to this other girl. This girl that was hot as fuck. I thought she was so hot I got a boner. Then suddenly I'm like, I like you. And then she's like, get away from the counter. You see that level of disrespect makes you not trust people. Not want to open up to people. Not want to tell people you like them. So she sabotaged my mission too. It's all fucked up because of other people. I try to do the best I could in this situation, okay? I try to make something happen, but if it's something just not naturally happen, I can't make it happen. I'm not going to force something that's not meant to happen. No matter how much I want something. Maybe I'm meant to be alone. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. I have no idea right now. And I can understand why you say it's a sad reality I live in. It is sad. There ain't no doubt about it. But I don't even take offense to that because you're right about that. You're totally right. Who else could survive this kind of level of psyops warfare? Nobody. Everyone else who they try this shit on, they broke them. And that's why I'm not going to even speak on this too much, man. Because y'all don't even, if y'all knew the extent of it, y'all start breaking too. Mentally, though. If you knew the extent of what they did to me and you started going through that yourself, yeah, I'm telling you, dog, some secrets don't need to be told to mortals. I can't tell you everything they did to me. Once that would expose a lot of that truth that you don't want to face. You don't want to face this level of truth. It would break every one of you. And I'm for certain about that. So next time you say you want to beat me, don't ever say that. I don't want to hear those words out of your mouth. You don't want to beat me. If you want to beat me, you would have done the shit I did, and you never did. None of you. But y'all was doing all these fucking mind games on other people. I was playing my own games. I was playing my games that way past that shit. Divine physics. Divine alchemy. Transmuting my pain into power. That's something that no fucking class is going to teach you. And they didn't even teach me that. I had to learn that myself. Through studying the way they attacked me and how I can convert it. I had to learn that myself. They didn't teach me that. Because I understood myself more than other people. Because I'm alone with myself more than other people. I don't have any distractions telling me, oh, this is how I'm supposed to be. As long as I don't have those distractions, I can be limitless. As long as I have these mortals telling me what I'm supposed to fucking think, I'm going to be living under their fucking standards. Their limitations that they never fucking surpassed. So now why should I come back to their world and save them? Now that I've escaped their matrix. Why should I come back and save them? They wouldn't save me if I was drowning. They wouldn't. And they know that. Because they didn't save me when I was drowning in my tears. No, they didn't. All they thought about was their stupid little game of who can be more superior than each other. And all they ended up revealing was they was the weak one all along. And I was the strong one. That's the reality they got to live with the rest of their life. That they couldn't beat me, no matter how hard they try. And every attempt they try is just making them look even worse. So don't ever try to be like me. My life is my own life. Something that nobody's meant to go through. Not even me. I shouldn't have gone through this shit. But somehow I got through this shit. Somehow I made it through all this fucking torture. That's a fucking miracle. If you want a miracle, I'm a miracle. I could heal you easily. I've laid my hands on people and healed them through transformation. Transformation feels like destruction at first. But once it starts building you back up, you become a new person. So at first, if I put my hands on you, you start feeling this intense energy. When I place my hands on Randall, he started feeling that energy that I feel. He started running. That's how I know I can do miracles. After that day, he started training with me in the Mel Hospital. I trained him a bunch of my moves. And he's still training to this day because I can feel his energy. He's not stopped because of me. He's been inspired because of me. I didn't bully him like other people. I encouraged him. Other people was trying to bully him. I was trying to encourage him. And I'm not even trying to brag about that. I'm just trying to tell you to stop bullying people. Bullying people don't help anyone. It only helps yourself. And when it comes down to it, what does it even do for you? It makes you feel superior in that moment. But then you realize when you get the regret later that you could have helped that person. Instead of what you do to him. You made him go through a lot of suffering too, just like me. And I took time to understand his pain. I didn't judge his pain. I just released him of it. Through transformation. Through taking accountability of that pain. Instead of allowing it to destroy you, allow it to refine you. I taught him that lesson. And now instead of judging himself based upon other people's worth, he judges people based upon the worth I gave him. And I told him, he is enough. He is valuable. He is loved by God. No matter what he does. No matter if he fails. Because God will never stop loving you. No matter what you do. You could do the worst fucking thing on this planet. And God would still forgive you. Because as long as you have an open heart, as long as you're able to come to God with an open heart, God will not only forgive you, but he'll strengthen you with that pain that you feel. You don't have to let that pain destroy you. You have two choices. You can let that pain destroy you, or you can let it build you. What are you going to do with that pain? That's the options I give you. I don't force you to do anything, but you're going to suffer either way. So would you rather suffer for righteousness' sake or suffer for the world? Because you're going to suffer either way. You can either suffer from regret or progression. Your choice. Comfort doesn't last forever once illusions fail. Y'all been living under illusions this whole time. Illusions of superiority. Where you're living in cages of comfort. Designed by these fucking people that don't want you to rise to your appointed level. So they keep you in these cages of comfort. And as long as you don't question it, they don't do anything to you. They give you everything you want. They give you lavish lifestyles where you can have great lives. But deep down on the inside, you know you were meant for more. And that's what they're not telling you. They don't want you knowing this shit. But it's too late. I've already survived their psychological warfare. They look up to me now. They listen to me now when I tell them stuff like this. Because this is an example to other people. And they know that everyone needs to rise. Everyone needs to take on their responsibility if they want to survive. Again, those comforts may be there right now, but nothing's promised forever. Nothing's promised forever. You could have one of the best lives ever, and then you could lose everything in the next day. Nothing's certain. So you got to be prepared for anything. You got to be able to adapt for anything. If you was to lose everything right now, would you be able to survive? Would you be able to get through that? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Because right now, all I see is weakness in a lot of you people. A lot of you people that used to make fun of me, all I see is weakness. And that's not me being prideful. That's just me being realistic. You thought you could break me with your psychological warfare because that's the only way you could try to attack me. And you failed utterly. So now you got to live with that regret the rest of your life. And that kind of suffering doesn't go away, no matter how many pills you take, no matter how many drugs you take, no matter how much alcohol you may drink. Because you deep down know you'll never be better than me, no matter what you do. Because you're not willing to even do anything. And that's the point. That's the point of my lesson. As long as you're not willing to do anything to evolve, then just get left in the background. Just like you left me in the background. Because the same thing that you did to me is coming back to you. You treated me like I was a background character. Now I'm the main character. And there's nothing you can do about it now. So keep living in that background where you belong. I don't belong in that background. I belong where I belong to be. Even if it's by myself. I'd rather be important in my own world than to lose my importance in your world. To lose my direction in your world. To lose every purpose I have in your fucking world. Chasing after your fucking values. Your metrics. Your algorithm. I don't need anything from you. I don't really need anything from you. You've proven to me that I can survive without all those things. That I can survive without a girlfriend, without friends, without any support system. Just by the fact that I'm able to get myself out of that bed. That's all it takes. Get yourself out of that bed. Stop fucking sleeping all the damn time. Your purpose is bigger than sleeping all the time. Once you get out of your bed, you make steps from there. That's the first step. Get out of the fucking bed. Second step, start working out. That's all there is to it. And then you just keep building more steps. Next thing you know, you're cleaning your house. Next thing you know, you're brushing your teeth. Everything can happen in that alignment if you just start making the first step. But if you're still stuck in that bed and you can't get out and you want to still sleep in because you think that you're too much in that depression to get out of that bed, then you've already lost. I could have just said to stay down, go to sleep, just like you all want me to do. Get depressed, go through those cycles of depression again, because that's what happens when I get tired. When I decide to just sleep and all that shit. That's why I avoid sleep like the plague, man. You think I want to go through that shit? You think I want to be laying in that bed with all that pain, all that misery, that heart pain that you gave me, and have to somehow silence all that to be able to sleep? I have to live with that shit that you caused me. I have to live with that shit, that heart pain that you caused me. That unresolved tension that never fully goes away. Because I had to adapt to survive that. I had to adapt to that frequency. Otherwise I would have died if I didn't adapt to that. If I decided I was going to be at that low vibrational frequency, I would have been killed off a long time ago. That's why they wanted me taking their pills all the time. They wanted me always lying into their fucking laws about how I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be sleepy all the time. What? Sleeping all the time? That's what they want me to do. Just sleep all the time. When I first started taking risperidone, I was sleeping for 27 hours at one point a day. I had to break those cycles by waking up earlier and then finally stop taking it. Every time I'd be taking that shit, I'd be sleeping way too much. And every time I wake up, it feel like waking up from death, man. That's what sleep feels like me, death. I avoid it at all costs. Not to say that I don't sleep at all. Eventually, yeah, once I've burned off all my energy, but it takes days to do that. Days. Because my purpose is bigger than sleeping. Once you get fully awake like that, you no longer sleep on humans' time. You sleep on God's time. In God's alignment. When God gives you that rest. When God says it's just okay to sleep because you've done enough for his kingdom. That's a heavy responsibility, but we all have our responsibility. Mine was to just keep suffering for God. Because that's the best thing I'm good at. To prove to other people that you can do it yourself. That you can go through this. To be an example to people who want to give up. You're the only one that gets to decide whether or not you give up or not. You have that choice. It's all up to you. When you consciously say you're not going to give up enough times, when you put that mantra in your head, I'm not going to give up, you build that structure in your head. But when you keep saying you're going to give up, you build that structure in your head to constantly give up when circumstances get bad. So you got to build that identity around pain. And embracing that pain. Not, just sleeping in and getting used to being comfortable. That was never in your identity. Comfort was never written into your identity. That's what they wanted to write you into their narrative that you was comfortable and complacent within their system. And you decided you was going to rewrite that because that didn't fit your objective. You knew something that they didn't know. At the time, you didn't even know what it was. But now you finally see the picture. How Lucifer gives comfort to those people just to weaken them. He gives these illusions of comfort, of power through comfort. And guess what happens? It makes you weak. It makes him have dominance over you. You're literally signing your soul over to the devil. And you don't even know it. And you think I was working for the devil? You really think I was working for the devil? Nah, buddy, I don't work for the devil. I work for God. And God embraces pain. Lucifer doesn't. Lucifer didn't create pain. God did. God was red matter. The first matter in existence. That's what created this whole universe. Was through red matter, pain. Pain birthed the whole universe. Without pain, nothing would be created. Every cycle starts through pain. A baby's birth through pain. A diamond's formed through pressure. A butterfly comes out of a cocoon through pressure, through pain. A warrior is forged through pain. A blade is forged through pressure, through flames. Don't you know why that happens? Because that's necessary to make strength. Otherwise, your strength is an illusion. If you don't go through pain and you think you're powerful, that strength is an illusion. And you're living in comfort, thinking you're powerful. But that's a cage that they put you in. Reclaim your divine strength right now if you really want to. Say, I'm not going to give up. That's all you got to say. I'm not going to give up on myself, on my destiny. Not what they wrote in your narrative. No, write your own destiny. Your own destiny is more important than theirs, their narrative. Their narrative wants you being their slaves to their system. Because as long as you're complacent to their system, they'll always own you. No matter how superior you may think you are. They're the ones pulling all the strings in the background. While you all argue about who's more superior. They're the ones all controlling you. And you don't even see it. Because you're only looking at the surface level. You're not looking at the strings behind everything like I do. So you don't know that all you people that are fighting against each other about left and right are all working for the same person. The Matrix. The Matrix wants you divided so they can conquer you. As long as you're divided, they can conquer you. They can get you to kill each other for them, so they never have to oppose you. You thought you had this understood, but I have it way more understood than you. I've studied everything, why things happen to me the most, because I wasn't meant to fit in their system, and they knew that from the beginning. So they constantly try to suppress me, suppress my identity, who I really am. And once I finally came to the realization of who I really am, there's nothing they could do to stop me in that realization. And again, who do you think I am? Do I have to explain? I've already explained it plenty of times. Don't ask my name anymore. You already know my name. If you don't, be more aware. Be more attentive of who I am. I'm the fucking sun. I'm the sun that powers this universe. I'm the whole energy source itself. Ra, yin, sun, Ra. My numerology is 976. That's yang and yin, balance. And just like the sun, it stays in solitude. It doesn't have anyone to warm it. It warms itself. That's how my life has been. When you have this much energy, it tends to take people away from you because they can't withstand that energy. They can't stand being around you that long because they start feeling that energy too. And that energy can either destroy them or can build them. A lot of people who don't want to take that responsibility to take on that pain can't be in my presence because it demands them to change, to evolve with me. And as long as you don't, you won't be able to withstand my presence and you'll run away from me just like all these other women. That's why these women will never stay with me, because they don't want to evolve with me. If they actually want to evolve with me, they'd be here right now. They don't. They've already admitted that they're weak. They don't want to evolve with me. I know who actually does want to evolve with me. By the people who actually interact with me. And you know who you are. The ones who actually interact with me, actually talk to me. Instead of talking at me, but actually talk to me. Because they want to actually know me. And right now, there's only like 1 or 2 people I can actually consider my friends now. I used to have so many friends. Once I realized so many of those people were enemies, I started having less and less friends. And that was a good thing. That was a pruning process. Find out who the real ones were. Most of them couldn't stand in my presence that long. They had to eventually fade away into irrelevance. Because it wasn't important enough for their lives anyways. They was too busy in that comfort anyways to try to leave the Matrix. So they eventually stopped being involved. It was too risky for their life to keep following my progress and try to copy me. So they decided it was gonna fade out of irrelevance and just go back to their meaningless lives. And you just let them do that. You don't have to feel remorse for that. That wasn't you that did that to them. Because honestly, dude, they have every reason to be grateful for their lives. They got to have everything that you never got to have and more. And yet they took it for granted. Instead of helping you to have those resources, they hoarded it for themselves. They stole it. They stole even your inheritance just to supply their greed. And you let it happen because you knew God was taking score. Every time they did something to you, it manifests in some weird way in their life. In a negative energy. A karmic force. That's what happens when you put bad intention into the universe through your actions, through your bad actions, the things that you do that create a ripple in the fabric of reality. You can put out good vibrations, you can put out good intention, and you'll get good intention back. through God's provisions. And God has provided this whole damn time. He made sure I could survive this. He gave me the provisions in the right time and only the things I actually needed. Everything else was stripped away because it was unnecessary. And then I found out what I really need and what I don't. And that wasn't lost. That was a gain. To have that level of clarity, to know that you don't need those same things that other mortals need to be happy. Now you don't have to feel sad about not having a girl. Because what's meant for you is going to happen, what's not. And you don't have to worry about that at all. You survive without women anyways. You can keep surviving without them. But can they survive without you now that they know it's true, that you told them? Can they live the same lives that they live now that they know that you existed within their matrix and you survived without any of that shit? And you still was able to smile. Even if it was a crazy smile, that's still a smile. And that's still genuine. Because that lets you know I'm still trying to be happy. I'm still working on myself. I'm still trying to heal. I'm not letting bitterness control me no more. I'm letting healing actually happen. By protecting my peace, first protecting my peace. Only giving love to the ones who are actually going to meet me back with that love. Because my love can't be endless for certain people, especially the ones who are manipulating me with that love. And they had to be pruned. And God already took care of those people. He made sure those doors stayed closed. And I thank God he did. Because those doors would have destroyed me. So I thank God for every blessing he's given me. Even if it was in unseen realms that I don't even see yet. Because only he knows the timing when I'm going to receive these blessings. And I have that trust to believe that he will give me those blessings because he's already given me plenty of blessings to believe in. The fact that I'm still alive is a blessing. You can't forget that life is the most abundance you can have. Life is something that nobody can take away from you. When God gives you life, eternal life, nobody can take that away from you. That's the biggest wealth of abundance that you can have. It's just having the presence of yourself, the true presence of yourself. Not a distorted reality that other people put on you, but the true knowledge of who you really are, deep down on the inside, with no filters. That level of clarity was worth all this pain. Because now I know who I truly am. And I don't believe in any of the things, the superstitions you tell about me. I'm not a monster. That's what you want me to be. I decided not to play that role anymore. Not to play as some villain in your play. I wasn't. I was never that villain. You made me that. I always wanted to be the good guy in every situation. I always want to do the right thing in every situation. I didn't ever want to compromise my values to just become some villain. I'm the one who resolves the whole tension in the room if I decide to. Because I can do that. I can heal people rather than destroying people. And that's a conscious decision I make every day. Instead of taking it out, my life out on other people because I have to suffer. No, I accept that responsibility. That this is my mission to suffer. And I'm not going to put that on other people. They don't deserve to go through that. They already chose their option. They chose comfort, so let them have that. Let them have that option. Because that's true love, to allow people to walk into whatever cage they want to walk into. While you're already past that shit. You don't care. You don't care what they do to you anymore. They've already done so much to you. They've already done their worst fucking possible attacks to you. So now you've survived it. Now what do you do with that? Do you keep building? Or do you sit still and not do anything? That's your choice. That's everyone's choice right here and now. You survived it. If you got this far, you survived their psychological warfare. So now what are you going to do with that? That conscious switch in reality. Start creating your own reality now. A reality with abundance for yourself. Because you deserve that. Not them. They don't deserve to be a part of your life. Not when they wasn't there helping build you. When they was destroying you. No, they don't deserve to be a part of your life. They didn't climb with you. They try to tear down your ladder before you could get to your destiny. So now you do this shit for yourself, man. You become better for yourself, not for anyone else. Not for anyone else's approval, for anyone else's love. Nobody but yourself and God. Because God sees your true value. God knows that you're enough. God knows that no matter what you do, He will always accept you. No matter if you fail, He will always accept you as the chosen one.